based on her appearance. The young ones, who had seen photographs and the advertised cartoonish posters and banners, were distressed at the sight of this craggy woman preparing to head on stage. How could this be her? She didn't even seem to be dressed right. They had expected a gorgeous woman with long hair dressed in full cowgirl regalia, the requisite black cowboy hat, leather fringes, bandana, gun holster, black boots, and spurs. Instead, she had short white hair and was dressed in a creamy Stetson, a white blouse, a lengthy colorful skirt, and a bejeweled choker. She gave an impression of an English noblewoman out on a jaunt to watch a fox hunt. It was clear she was clothed in too many layers for this event, and the blistering heat was getting to her. No one could have expected that an October Massachusetts day would be this torrid. She swooned slightly by the foot of the stage and dabbed a handkerchief across her eyes and nose. Onlookers wondered if she would make it up there, much less be able to perform at all. Even her beloved, rock-solid husband, the dapper Frank Butler, also overdressed in his three-piece suit and hat, couldn't conceal his worry. She had already declined everything he offered, water, lemonade, a fan, and snapped at him when he volunteered his cane. The audience charged forward when a suited, overweight carny wearing a derby hat took the stage. In spite of his massive frame, layers of garments, and thick beard, the darn fellow didn't sweat a droplet. His rosy grin lit up the stage, and his upright arms ignited the fairgoers. "Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages," he bellowed, "we are honored to have with us today a living legend, the star of the famed Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, the greatest marksman in our country's history. She's broke records, set records, won countless competitions, performed before dignitaries and the Queen of England, and did trick shots no one else ever dared attempt before or after. She is here to bedazzle you with her sharp-shooting prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you Little Miss Sure Shot herself, the one, the only, Annie Oakley." The crowd erupted in cheers, thunderclaps, and whistles. Men, women, boys, and girls, people of every color and from every rung on the social ladder, became giddy with excitement. "We love you, Annie," shouted a middle-aged woman. "You're the greatest," hollered a businessman in spectacles. "Yippee!" screamed a young girl, waving her cowboy hat in the air. Annie seemed unaffected by the commotion and attention. She lumbered across the stage with a pronounced limp while dragging a .32 Remington against the wood flooring. Her trek toward the carny at center stage seemed to take forever, but the crowd didn't mind one bit. The carny continued to beam as he clasped her free hand with both of his. He bowed to her with the tip of his hat before assuming his place in the front row next to Frank. She looked out into the sea of endless faces. All sorts of crazy thoughts raced through her mind. What am I doing up here? I'm too old for this. I should be retired. I don't have to prove myself to no one anymore. Frank is going to have a heart attack if something goes wrong. This heat, this dang heat. The audience simmered down. Showtime. She attempted a smile, but her bottom lip betrayed her with a quiver. She took a deep breath as she raised her rifle. In doing so, her footing slipped, something she had never before experienced. She regained her balance, unnerved. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Frank react as if he was about to jump on stage to save her life. He was intent on rescuing her, embarrassing her. She wouldn't have any of that. She shot him a warning look, which didn't catch on. Fortunately, the carny, who now had a long cigar in his mouth, physically held him back, preventing any interference. I can do better than this. I'm Annie Oakley. Or am I? Has my whole life been made up? Annie Oakley doesn't really exist. I'm just Phoebe Ann Moses, a child nobody could care for, a scared little girl. She raised her rifle again, better, but not elegant. She became conscious that her shoulder was twitching. Her hip ached. The unrelenting sun beat down on her.